I'm sorry.
Wow, you started out the show with a cuss word. That means everyone I'm going to hear is
I'm so
cuss
sorry.
word, cuss word, cuss word.
What's
Fernando
going on,
dropped
Glenn?
the cuss word right when the show started. Ah.
I'm so sorry. My bad. It's been a long day.
Yeah.
Good
You know-
evening,
yep,
Tony.
Prasad.
Clint?
What's up, Tony? How's it going, buddy? Hello from
Hello,
Modesto.
Bismarck.
Hello, hello, hello. What's up, Johnny? Victor. Hey, Victor, what's going on? Craig. Bismarck, how's it hanging? A little to the left, I'm sure.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? Dallas checking in.
Dallas.
Sure. Hello, sir. Image looks better than normal. We have some lighting down here that, because this white car is totally screwing up this camera that I hate with a passion.
Yeah.
But hopefully that'll
Sorry,
change
Jason.
at the end of this week. Hopefully the Saturday show we'll be able to run the new camera if it gets here and we test it. So we ordered a new camera, so really excited about that. Yay, nothing I love more than spending money on cameras. Joy. Love the kicker key video. Thank you, Matt. Glad you liked it. Hey, from Norway. What's up from Arkansas?
Yeah. Okay. Now, yeah. See, it looks dark.
What?
The TV than the camera.
Yeah, the camera looks nice and bright. The TV
wow.
looks dark. But that's cool.
Okay.
What's up, Tony? What's the car behind? This is a Volkswagen Passat. We're doing what's up, Jason? We're doing a SCAR system in it. He's getting a SCAR 4-channel and a SCAR monoblock and a SCAR VVX with some punch mids and highs and an LC7i. We didn't have enough time to finish it today, so it gets to stay the night. We're not doing these over in the showroom anymore because the Wi-Fi there is sucking badly. So now we're gonna stay over here. We don't want to stay in this particular look. We're gonna try to come up with something different. We're thinking about moving everything to our waiting room for the Monday show. We gotta get some time to figure that out. Hopefully with the new camera things will change. This camera sucks in low light, so if you could see, we have two of our strip lights that we normally have on the wall are aiming at us. I have my new LED panel that I just got for my light above my desk aimed at me. So you can see my glasses. See the reflection.
Manchester, UK.
Yeah. So Manchester United.
Yeah. Manchester United. Yeah.
Hey, that test track you had that you said you should be hearing this from the center channel on the kicker key. What is that? All right. So there's three. All right. That is the Sheffield Labs test CD that you can download the whole obnoxious CD from iTunes. Just type in Sheffield Labs. But if you want that track specifically, these nuts in the house.
Yeah.
If you want that track specifically, if you go to DNF tool drawer and you go to the page where the meters are, the meter page, on that page there's 3 tracks. One is the polarity test, one is that track, and the other one is pink noise. So you can get all 3 of those tracks, download them right off the webpage. We took them from somebody else's webpage, so enjoy.
Yeah.
When you did 2,000 camera, did you ever get the actual radio above the passenger? No, we didn't go to the actual radio.
Jason he had a bad day.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, man. What's going on?
Hopefully no one died. No, we didn't actually go to that, but we actually, apparently that's the word today. We have another Camaro big system coming up here this week that we're going to film. So we'll have more on the Camaro stuff like that. That was a set. So there's a couple different systems in the Camaros. There's a 7-inch touchscreen. There's an 8-inch touchscreen. The 7-inch touchscreen is the base model, and then there's an 8-inch touchscreen with a small amp in the back but no subwoofers, and then there's an 8-inch touchscreen with a premium. That's like their premium sound system. We haven't had the premium one yet. We've only had the other 2.
All right. When you do over 1,000 watts sub,
this is a Passat.
When you do
Hard. Go ahead.
When you do, I totally
lost it.
Hang on.
We just mentioned this is getting a SCAR system in it with some punch mids and highs.
Okay. Facebook did the update and now it's weird.
Is it?
Believe me.
Yeah. It's rocking here.
When you do over 1,000 watts sub, you prefer even a smaller battery like the Stinger SP680, correct?
That's a nice battery, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they make the SPV20, they make the red tops, okay, so when we're talking batteries, The inexpensive Stinger batteries are yellow, and the more expensive batteries are red. Jason did just punch him. That's why he's far away. He can't reach. If you get into the red top batteries, you're going to get a better size performance.
Yeah.
Will you put the microphone, the Pioneer microphone on? Yeah. I have to do a bunch of stuff on there. So if will this be the YouTube for the? Will this be on you? No, this one is not going to be on Install
YouTube.
Diaries.
No.
We were really trying to get this done today, and it just didn't work out. A lot of times when we're crunched for time, we don't get a chance to film these things. So this one did not get filmed, unfortunately, which sucks because we really don't have a lot of Volkswagens in the diary, and this would have been a good one to have in it, but it just sometimes
going on aside
time
from
kicks
Utah?
us in the balls.
Yeah. Yep. What's up from Chicago?
Speakers. Okay. What else you got?
Have you heard about issue Pandora Auto Connection? Kenwood head units. They say they are working on, but I have to open an app, go to advanced settings, and check the auto launch, then recheck it.
Yeah.
Do you know anything?
No.
If it works, yeah.
No, I mean when it comes to Pandora, Spotify, radio, iHeartRadio, all those guys.
Sometimes they broke.
They constantly, especially Pandora. Pandora seems to be like just the most screwed up company ever when it comes to partnerships. They a year and a half ago, it was every other week something was wrong with the Pioneer app. It was terrible. Hello from Sweden. So yuck. My SP680 and the A3 pulled out last October. The A4 still showed. Yeah, no. Christian, they're good batteries, you know that.
All right, Steven, I'm looking for
West Virginia
4K, 2K RMS amp for 4-door speakers and an amp. What do you think? 4K, 2K. Wow, that's a lot.
2K and 4K. I mean,
RMS.
I don't know where you're gonna find it for 4-door speakers. I mean, the biggest 4-channel okay, Crunch makes some really big 4-channels, and then Rockford Punch makes some really big. Rockford has the Punch 1004, which is 250 watts by 4. I know Crunch makes like 150 or 175 by 4.
Mm-hmm.
Scar makes the 150 by 4.
Jeff?
So there's
Jeff
a
King.
couple there that are pretty big, and of course Crunch. All those companies make a giant amplifier. Rockford doesn't make a 4K; they just go up to 2500. But I know Scar makes a 4K, Crunch makes a 4K, so if you're looking for matching amplifiers, aloha!
Have you ever did an install in a 1990 in DeVille?
Yes.
Yeah. We actually take.
That was, we just took all the stuff out of DeVille.
All the stuff out, right?
So the problem with DeVille's or Cadillacs in general is hard to find one that isn't deteriorating.
Aloha, man.
Especially one that's that old. The plastic was, when GM made those cars, the plastic they were using was terrible. The ABS, I think they got the batch wrong, and if you've ever armor-alled one of those at any point in its life, it just caused the rubber decoupled off of the plastic, and then it dry rotted and broke, and so they're really hard cars to work on, and even harder to find one that isn't in pieces. So yeah, is Rockville brand any good? We don't do anything with Rockville. I know there was the Rockville subwoofers that EXO reviewed.
Mm-hmm.
If that's what you're thinking of, maybe check out EXO on YouTube. I know he reviewed some of those big subwoofers that they have.
All right, is there any difference in mirroring the Galaxy S9 plus the SA versus the SA and the Kenwood DDX X5?
So I was talking with a Samsung guy the other day, and they were mentioning that there is something different between an 8 and a 9 as far as what you used to do for mirroring. I know on the 8, Samsung makes the USB-C to HDMI adapter, and it just plugs right in, and it works wonderfully. Someone was telling me the other day that was in here that their 9 was funky. And there again, they weren't able to back it up to say, hey, so I don't know. Rockville makes great headrests for TVs for like $100.
All right, I have a Pioneer 8100 NES, and I have to pair my phone every other day. If you're not every day, It's my phone or the radio.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
No, I was turning off
What's
your
up,
compressor.
Jeremy?
Jeremy!
Yeah. 8100 NEX. He have to pair the phone.
Bluetooth?
Yeah.
What kind of phone? I mean, it sounds like an Android phone.
I don't have an issue with my $100 Walmart Pioneer radio. Wow. Yeah.
I mean,
You
shouldn't have
to. Update?
Yeah, definitely check the
Check
software.
your
Always, anytime you have a problem with any radio, doesn't matter what brand it is, doesn't matter how old it is, doesn't matter. Anytime you have any kind of problem with a radio,
what's up,
go
Bill?
to that manufacturer's website, check the version number on the software, because 9 times out of 10, there is no. It needs an update, okay? A lot of the times these things will sit on shelves. There'll be 6 updates by the time they get in. You bought them used. You've had it in your car. It was put in a week after they came out, and it's never been updated, and there's tons of problems with it. And a lot of times, software updates will fix those.
Yeah.
So you can also download the owner's manuals from the websites, too. So if you can't figure out how to get to the firmware, then you can download the owner's manual and find it from there. So what's up, Bill?
Hey guys, I have a Pioneer 8200 NEX, and the wire in the back of the radio is the same as the new 8400 NEX?
Yes. Yes, it is. They're both the same. The radios are different, and so the back sides of the radio are totally different. If you check out in the car stereo lab video we did, where we took the 9905 out of the Camaro and put the 4400 in the Camaro, you'll see we take a 4200 and compare it to the new 4400. The 8200 and the 4200 all have the same back, except the 8200 had a pigtail or had a spot where the GPS antenna comes in, but they're the same. So if you want to see an idea of what the difference is between the backs of the radio, check that out, because that'll give you an idea of what you're looking at. What's up, Dan?
What's up? Let's see. Okay, even if you have a system, because you both mentioned the center image on Haley's car could do the key.
Yes.
Be added as a DSP only.
What? What do you mean? I didn't get that.
Could be.
Could be?
Could the key be added as a DSP only?
No.
Or not science build the amp?
No, it's really not made. Okay, so that technology that that technology that Kicker has right now, it's going to be a platform that they're going to be moving forward with. The key is, I don't even know if I want to explain it the way it was explained to me as far as what's going on with that amplifier, because I don't know if they told me in confidence or not, but right now the key is the starting point for what's going to be coming in the future, and that's the easiest way to put that. But it is a standalone system. You know, getting a center image and all that, it really isn't terribly hard if you get a DSP. The only nice thing about that DSP is it takes care of it for you, so it solves all the math issues. But I'll tell you, if you didn't catch the Saturday show, right now we've been playing with this guy right here, you know, the Access digital processor, this guy right here, and we put it in Fernando's car just to try it out. We haven't shot the video on it yet. We're going to be putting one in this week, and I was like, I want to play with it first. And as far as, this is a 32 band EQ. It's front rear sub input, so that's, you know, but it's line level for the sub input, but it's, so it's 6 line level inputs, 4 high level inputs, 6 RCA outputs, so it's high level or low level. It's also kind of similar to like an Amp Pro or a AR in that it has some capabilities like that to interface with those specific type of harnesses. In the show, when I talked about T-harnesses that you can get from metroonline.com, this is what they're for. It's for this guy right here. So they have T-harnesses for almost every vehicle that'll plug into this. So if you don't have to use this, like if you're doing a DSR1 or a DM608 or a Helix or a whatever, and you want a T-harness, they make T-harnesses for this, but you can use them for anything.
Now, if you use this, you gotta turn your head.
Yeah, there are some little the EQ, and it's funny how do they show it on the package.
Yeah.
So they show it, you know, like you have to set it like that. But anyways,
Yeah.
So if you want something like the key, this does have time alignment built into it, and it's probably one of the easiest ones we've ever set up.
Yeah, that's very easy.
It was real easy, and it was with 1 or 2 inches of, like, I guessed. Like, when I was sitting in your seat, and I was like 36, 48, 40, and it was like 34,
something,
50. So, and actually,
my
guess number,
inches.
my guess number, I actually put it back to because it sounded better than when we actually measured it. So, really nice piece as far as ease of setup. The DSR1 is very similar, but if you have an aftermarket radio, the flaw with the DSR1 is that it doesn't have a subwoofer input. This has the subwoofer input, so this is kind of nice. They're about the same amount of money too, which I don't get, but whatever.
Alright, so hey guys, I installed a TR1 Bypass on my Pioneer head unit and it didn't work. Any suggestion, or my Pioneer is defective?
You installed the TR1?
TR1.
So that's the bypass for it.
Bypass.
Not necessarily. There's a couple things. You know, it's 3 wires. It's black, it's green, it's blue. Blue's remote turn on, black is ground, green is the output to the emergency brake. Where we run into a lot of problems on those with people is that they have too many things hooked up to the remote turn on and the voltage goes down and it's not enough to do everything it needs to do, or you have an active powered or amplified antenna. A lot of the times in Toyotas use an amplified antenna, and it draws like more current than a Pioneer can put out over it. So you put the bypass on it, and then it just shuts down the radio, and the bypass doesn't work. So I take a volt ohm meter and put it on the remote turn on of the radio and make sure that you have 12 volts there. You may need to add a relay.
All right, so what are you guys going to call the weekly Wednesday show?
The weekly Wednesday show?
Yeah.
I
think that was just the Facebook Live on Wednesday.
We did it Friday. Oh, the Wednesday
with,
show. With Chris.
Yeah, that was just
a one-off.
Wednesday.
You know, the thing is we want to get those guys in front of the camera so that you guys can, hear their stories and we can have some interaction. And I just love talking to those guys. We get the opportunity to do it, and anytime I can get one of them to sit down and tell us their story. It could be inspiring. It could be somebody that, one of you guys out there is sick and tired of their job, wants to get a job in car audio, doesn't want to install, doesn't understand installing, but, you might want to be a sales guy. You might want to be a sales rep. You might want to be the guy that answers the phone because you can read manuals, or you might want to be installer. I don't know. I just like getting those guys in front of the camera so that we can interview them. The problem is that they can't get here at 6:30 on Monday nights. So what we try to do is we'll make arrangements with them to get them here, and we'll go from there. So we could get him here on Wednesday, so I'm going to jump at any opportunity for any guy to come in. And so if it's got to be a Friday or a Wednesday or a Monday or a Tuesday, that's the great thing about the internet. We can, once we have it recorded and up for you guys to watch.
So Victor is like, you need to make a weekly event.
No, Victor. No, man.
This is a weekly event.
This is as weekly as it gets.
And Saturday.
Trust me. Wednesday nights, if we're lucky, we do the podcast. But most of the time, by the time Wednesday rolls around, and it's only Wednesday, we're so over working and being here and staying late and all the other crap that we just want to run out the door come Wednesday and staying. I mean, even staying the extra hour for the podcast, which we didn't even get a chance to do last week or the week before last, and we recorded a podcast this week, but it was too angry. I don't even know if I'm going to put that one up.
That was too angry?
I think it was too angry.
Oh, really?
I thought about it after we did it, and I was like, I don't know.
Not angry. That was good.
I think I'm going to put it right next to the Solo, the original cut of Han Solo. We'll just put it there, and then we'll bring Ron Howard in and have him shoot another podcast for it. So
I know, Dean has plenty time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I got plenty of time.
Say. Hey, from Australia, I just installing my KRX3 front stage and a pair of Rockford Fosgate P3 subs. Should I worry about rear fill?
No.
It's a sedan similar like the Impala, or I just leave it front stage.
So we'll have that rear fill conversation not real quick because I'm involved, so we're going to go down a rat hole, I'm sure.
All right.
So, all right.
Hop in and enjoy the show.
So when it comes to rear fill, it's a personal preference, okay? So, we always talk about this when we're tuning a car, and it always amuses me to hear someone go, you don't need rear fill. And it's like, well, okay, fine. Like right now, Fernando's car doesn't have rear fill. and
No,
it's got a
good.
set of components
Good.
up front, a set of subs in the back.
Yeah.
And that was by design. We had the 2 amplifiers in the car. That was what we were planning on doing. Now we just got from Chris the other night when he was here. He dropped us off the 4-channel version.
Yeah.
So now we have all 3 of those. So the plan is to put a set of coaxials in the rear, take the 4-channel, go active on the front, and then we'll have a sub amp as we already have. Now, anytime we do a car like this gentleman here, we did his Chevy Cruze?
Yeah.
Cruze?
No, this one?
Yeah, his blue.
No, it's a Ford Focus.
Ford Focus. All right,
Like
it is Ford Focus.
the crazy one. They only make probably
blue,
like 5.
Yeah, it was a blue Ford Focus. I don't
Yeah.
know if I think that one's up. Did we edit that? Put it up?
Yeah, we filmed it.
Okay, so that one's up.
It's
This
not
is,
yet.
This is his wife's car.
Yeah.
Anyways, so in that car we did a set of straight up front, sub. That was it. In this car, they want rear because she likes rear.
Yeah.
So
Rear
it's
fill,
just personal
yes.
preference. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm a fan of rear
Bill like
fill.
it.
I like rear fill. I like sound coming
Everywhere.
Now, the difference is how loud you want the rear fill. Some, like in your case, you got those wonderful K2s. If you're going to buy, or KX2s, if you're going to buy some matching speakers, that are $800 for the rear, you're going to want to hear them just a little bit. You want them there. But there are guys that adamant, no rear fill. I like rear fill. So,
All right,
whatever turns you on.
Lee, can you take your laptop? Can you take your laptop to
Yep.
your car and hook it up and do the update in there?
No. So anytime you're updating anything, most of the time it needs to be
Have to be-
unplugged and it needs to be done from a thumb drive. So
Thumb
like
drive,
if you're
yeah.
going to update a radio, you're going to download it to a thumb drive. The thumb drive is going to go into the radio. You don't have to bring a laptop into the car for anything other than doing an update on or anything other than tuning a DSP. Other than that, it's all done through thumb drives. We use the SanDisk Cruisers for
Yeah.
most of our stuff, or we try to find the oldest ones we can get our hands on.
What's up, Luis?
Not all thumb drives work.
Yep.
Especially on Pioneer.
Portugal. Let's see. Hayden, having problems with my Rockford Fosgate 2500 CP.
Constant power.
It keeps going in internal.
Ooh.
Thermal.
Yeah.
It has a lot of airspace. People telling me I need an alternator. Is this true?
So, it's a 2500 watt amp. It's putting out about 3,000 watts. You probably have a zero gauge going to it. There's a lot of things that can go wrong in that installation. Everyone is always going to tell you need an alternator, and they're not totally wrong. But, a lot of the cars nowadays, it's very hard to put an alternator in or find one that's big and bulky. When we were doing this years ago, Orion used to make a product called an MBR70, and this was a much simpler time. We tell people straight up, for every dollar you spend on an amplifier, you have to spend 50 cents on the charging system. That includes power wire batteries and this MBR70, which is a multi-battery regulator. It was designed to... It was really cool, and it worked, and it was neat, and of course, Orion faded away, and so did it. It's kind of a shame, but... So what we do is we'd put a 1,000 watt amp in a car. The guy'd spend $500. We tell him he needs to spend $250. If you put 1,000, he needs to spend $500. So to just grab a big amp like that, throw it in on a base electrical system, chances are good, yeah, you're going to need some kind of power bank to charge it. Whether that's an alternator, whether that's a second battery, whether that's the giant 12 farad capacitor that Rockford makes, which wouldn't do the job, but they're going to try to sell you anyways. For that amplifier, I would strongly recommend getting into a second battery if you don't already have one, and a big one. The other thing, too, is anytime you get that big, you have to think of it like a race car, okay? There's certain things you can and can't do, and certain things you're just going to have to learn to live with as far as, something like that. You put a second battery in the car. If you don't want to put an alternator in it, then you need to buy some way to charge that second battery if you're a balls-to-the-wall day kind of guy, and maybe plug it into the wall at night, park it in the garage, charge that second battery or that battery bank. But for that amplifier, a minimum, you need a second battery. Minimum, you need a second battery. And a way to semi-charge that.
All right.
All
right, Byron. Byron say, hey guys, Byron here. Do you guys ever receive the DSR1 that I sent you from Arizona? Yes, we did. We have it.
Yes, and we did thank you on one of the shows.
Yep.
But yes, we do have it here. Thank you so much for it.
We want to put it in the car, definitely.
It's going in his car. It was actually scheduled to go in before the access piece, But because we needed to do more research on this than we do on this, but yeah, we're kind of looking
definitely
forward.
want to install
Plus,
that
the nice
one.
thing is now thanks to you sending us this, and we have this, we get to do a nice A/B comparison between the two because out of the two, these are definitely the most similar.
Yeah.
As far as form, function, and price, these are almost priced identically.
Almost the same.
So yes, that's. Thank you again. That was.
Thank you, Byron. I appreciate it.
And since we're talking about cool stuff that we got, by the way, I'm wearing the 5-Star Car Stereo shirt. Oh, wow. So if you guys, these are the shirts that we have on Teespring that you can get. So if you go to Teespring/stores/5-Star, you can get this. And if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen it last week. I put up a picture of a sticker, a 5-Star sticker, and we've been working to get this just the way I wanted it. And we finally got it the way I want it. So this is the new 5-Star sticker. All right, so these are the samples still, so I only have like 5 of them, so slow it down.
All right, raise your hand who want one.
So we're having these made because we're gonna give them away. You don't have to. So we're working on a program right now. Once we get them pressed or get them printed and get them in here, we're going to run a. You don't have to enter. You don't have to do anything. I'm going to set up like an email, which I'll put up, and we'll talk about it on a couple shows. All you're going to do is email me your address. I'm going to put in an envelope, and I'm going to send them to you.
There you go.
So that we're going to, hopefully in the next, hopefully middle of next month or towards the end of next month, we'll have all that done, and you guys are all going to get stickers. So
awesome.
Okay. About 300 of you are going to get stickers, and then we'll see how it goes from there.
No, you say all of them.
Okay, well, if we go through the first 300, I'll have another 300 made, okay?
Yeah,
so,
I see you, Andy.
Yeah, so that's going to be coming up here, yeah.
Andy say you need to learn edit the video while you're running, okay?
Edit the video while I'm running?
Yeah.
I have a hard enough time just breathing while I'm running right now.
Can you imagine you laughed right here?
Yeah, dude, let me tell you what. It's
crazy.
So I was laughing on the inside in my head because I was breathing, sucking in the air Sunday morning. And I was like, okay, how many of you guys have ever experienced this? Sorry, tangent time. How many of you guys have ever experienced where someone, they always pick on me and go, hey, what time are you going to get up Sunday? It's my only day to sleep in. And Corey goes, oh, when are you going to get up, at 8 o'clock tomorrow? And I was like, no, I plan on sleeping in. You know what time I woke up? 8 o'clock. And so then I started getting Ada's video up to him. And so by about 9, I was done with that. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going for a run. So for like 8 to 11, or 9 to 11, I was running. Mm-hmm. And the whole time I was just going, I wanted to sleep in. But when they put that subliminal, like, you're going to wake up at 8, and then you wake up at 7:30, or you wake up at 8, and it's like, it's the only day. God, that sucks.
All right. So, hello, Michael from Louisiana. Thinking about component in the front and sub in the rear.
Okay.
I'm going in the F-150 XLT.
Okay.
Thinking about going active.
Yeah.
Keeping my factory radio. Thinking about the DSR-1. What do you think about?
You can do that with a DSR-1. A DSR-1 will allow you to do that. I'm going to tell you the same thing we get every time we call one of these manufacturers up and we say we're going to go active. The first thing they do is say, make sure you run the crossover on the tweeter, please. So as lovely as we all like to go active, that's awesome. Do it. The DSR-1 will allow you to do that. A nice set of components for that is obviously some Focals or the X-type Alpines. X-type Alpines sound really, really good in the F-150. And the nice thing about the X-type Alpines and the Focal is that the crossovers are separate. So the tweeters have their own crossovers, the mid-range have their own crossovers. So it makes going active super simple. But I do strongly recommend keeping the crossovers on the tweeters. Because remember, if you're going to be putting, let's say, 75 watts to a tweeter, 75 watts to a mid-bass, you really don't need 75 watts going to a tweeter. You need like 35 watts going to a tweeter, 75 watts going to a mid-bass, or 75 watts going to a tweeter, and 150 watts going to the mid-bass. So leaving that cap on that tweeter isn't really going to hurt anything other than save the tweeter from you accidentally setting the crossover wrong and blowing up the tweeter. So... And it's funny, every single manufacturer we talk to about that, they all say the same thing. You call Focal, they say, could you leave a tweeter on? You call Rockford, they say, you call Alpine. Alpine is the worst. Actually, they were the funniest. They were, why would you want to go active? Yeah. And you're like, I don't know. Why wouldn't I want to go active? No, really.
All right, so
Yeah.
Wes, what is a good replacement for a 2013 GMC Terrain? Or I can just add something like Bluetooth for my wife.
Hold on. The cap will change the impedance on the tweeter a little bit, but it's not going to hurt anything. So
Yeah.
go ahead, leave it on.
2013 GMC Terrain. I mean, you can change it. You can change the radio if you want to. Go to packaudio.com or metroelectronic.com.
MetroOnline.com.
Yeah, that's what I say.
No, MetroOnline.com.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
MetroOnline.com. That's what I say.
Okay.
And you can check the pieces that you need, so you can change your radio, or you can go to isimple.com.
For what?
If you wanna add just a regular Bluetooth, and you
Oh,
just
yeah.
wanna keep the factory radio.
Yeah, they make the gateway piece.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Which we'll be talking about more here soon, because we're getting ready to put one in Fernando's car.
I want to.
Because right now we're using an FM modulated Bluetooth adapter in it, and
it's not.
It's driving me crazy
Yeah.
because it sounds terrible. And
as soon as we plug it into the, I'm
yeah,
like,
I know.
"Oh, that's
So
awesome."
no, we didn't. It doesn't have an aux input. We just ran it into front channel input. Yeah.
Just
So
one time.
in his car, we're desperately trying to keep the factory radio just so we can continue to do the high level. And for that,
We're desperate.
it's. I want to keep the factory radio just so we can, because the high level is very important for the testing we want to do in his car. So we're trying to get a better signal into it, and we know with like a DSR1 we can just plug an aux jack into it. Like right now we're running the DSP, we're just plugged into it through RCA's, run straight off an iPhone, and it kind of defeats the purpose. But his radio doesn't have an aux jack.
No.
PAC or iSimple makes the gateway piece, which will get us the aux input. So it's just a matter of, but yeah, we're gonna order one of those. Get him an aux, and hopefully that'll solve that and get us back to doing
Andy,
stuff.
thank you for chiming in. He gotta go. You have to go to soccer practice for his daughter.
Yeah, man,
Nice.
been there, done that.
Ah.
Actually, Haley's coaching this year, so which is a good thing. That means I still get to see her Tuesday and Thursday nights. She's gonna come home, so now she's not playing, but she's coaching, so that'll be nice.
Yeah. All right. How come I never see updates from Alpine?
I'll call you tomorrow, Jeremy. Because Alpine can do no wrong. That's the best answer to that. I'm going to tell you a story about Alpine. They made us sign a non-disclosure agreement, and this was funny as hell. So when one of the radios came out about 3 years ago, there was a update that needed to be done to it. When they came into the stores, they came in with white pieces of paper, and they made us all sign it saying we weren't going to talk about it. And I thought that was funny. And I was like, I got to go to the install bay. And then the guy, our guy,
Yep.
took out a little thumb drive and he started updating all these Alpines. And we're like, are you kidding me?
No. You can.
Yeah. He-
know.
and I said,
whoa.
I
I'm
said,
gonna
here,
do
let
it.
me help you. I'll
Stop
go.
it.
No. Now,
Yeah.
whatever. You know, it's what it was. I don't know if he was trying to play it up, and I just kind of laughed, and I was like, you realize that every manufacturer has updates, right? And he's like, no, this, whatever. I was, it was just
Anyway.
whatever, and so no, that, yeah.
That's awesome. Anyway, Philip, he said, will the Pioneer 5 channel line fit under the 2016 Nissan Altima?
That's your favorite car?
Yes, it fits.
Okay.
It fits. It's just
Getting power wired through that firewall.
go to the power wire
Sucks.
and yes.
Is that the emergency brake or the gas pedal?
No, it's the emergency brake pedal.
This is the emergency brake pedal?
Mhm.
Yeah, so if you want to get a wire through the wall, pull the emergency brake pedal.
It's gonna be more easy.
More easy?
Definitely. I mean, it's
Yeah, it's more easy.
It's easy. It's easy.
It's more easy.
Oh, it's
Best
more-
system for a 2004 Suburban. The one you can afford. 2004 Suburban at this
The one
point
you
is
can
kind of like a
afford.
white canvas. You can do almost anything you want to that car. So, we did the, there's a stalker starts tonight for my daughter too. Monday night practice. It's Tuesday night for us, so yeah.
Yeah, Luis, just we're gonna see what's going on with the shipping, and as soon as we have it,
Yeah,
it should be a while.
we'll talk about it more. I just teased it because he honestly just dropped those stickers off like 20 minutes before the show started,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
like this is the 4th iteration of the sticker that we've had.
This is the Veda.
So we had. I have another bag. So originally we had the first ones that he sent us, which were these, which is what we wanted, but these are all had to be weaved. I don't know if you guys ever done stickers where you have to weave out all the crap.
Yeah.
And we're like, no, because 300 of those would drive me crazy. And this was the first one. This had to be weaved. And then this one they forgot to print the white behind it, so you couldn't see it through a car. And then this one, I don't know if you could see how black the border is on it.
Yeah, it's
so
weird.
it looked fine on a windshield, but it looked terrible like if you were to put it on like a laptop or something like that. So we went ahead and we have two sizes. You're gonna get two sizes. You're gonna get a small and a large, so that if you want to put it on something cool like me, I want it for my laptop. I'm not gonna lie, this is the whole reason why these are being made, because I want to put it on my laptop. So I'm excited about that.
Hey guys, did you ever install a full system in 2006 to 2015 Impala radio to subs? If you were, did you put the amps? Depends of the size of the amp. Normally we put it in the trunk.
Yeah, don't those go on the sides?
Huh?
It goes on the side, right?
Yeah.
The one we
yeah,
put on the
we
side,
make a
next to
panel.
the strut tower.
And yeah, but depends of the size of the amplifier. Okay, apparently he's not going. Just kidding.
Who's not going?
To the soccer practice.
Oh.
Maybe he did. I don't know. It is possible to retain factory XM radio, XM on a 2005 Escalade when I put the new Pioneer.
Yes,
44. Yes.
You can, but I would not recommend it. There you go. See, there's the sticker right there.
Ooh, look at that.
Yay. Anyways. You can, when you use an RP5 from PAC, it allows you to do that. You might actually be, but
yes, Jason, definitely. You're gonna get one.
Yeah, everyone's getting one. I need mine. Yep, everyone's getting one. Just we'll let you know when. But if any, okay, so if the RP5 should be able to do it. I don't know if iData goes back that far. But either way, don't just buy the tuner. Plug it in and use that, because it sucks.
Thank you.
You have to use the steering wheel control to go up to the next station. So there's a mode you switch it to, and then you switch it to aux. You don't control it from your radio. So if you want to go from like channel 10 to channel 199, you have to hit it 189 times. So for $80, you can buy the SVX 300 tuner. You can still use your factory antenna. That's what the SAT1 antenna adapter is for. Butch, ooh, I want one. Well, print your own, man.
Yeah. Well, as soon as he brings the 300, I'm gonna give you one.
Yeah, as soon as you print them, then tuck one in your pocket.
Yeah.
So, cannot retain factory XM until 2007. Well, there you go. That answers that question. Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you, Jeremy.
So, no, you can't. You're going to have to get the SVX 300 tuner, which is where I was going at anyways. You definitely want to just get the new tuner. It's way better.
Yeah.
I never try to retain that. Oh, hey, Mom, what's going on? Mom says hi.
Hi, Mom.
So, definitely, yeah. Okay, next.
I need an amp that it's 2 channel with 100 watts and a 2 channel with 4 watts.
What?
I need an amp.
Do you know what he needs? Just tell him.
5 channel amp.
So he needs a 5 channel amp?
5 channel. Hey, what's up, Chris? Yeah.
Oh, hey, Chris.
5 channel amp.
Which one?
Oh, you know what?
What?
You should buy the audio control ACM amplifiers. The 300 watts. Yeah. And the 400, the 300 by 4.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I couldn't get the question you were asking.
Yeah, just get the audio control amplifiers. They're awesome.
Sue, you get a sticker. You get a sticker. It's Oprah Winfrey. Everyone gets stickers.
I like that.
Everyone's gonna get stickers. Cause hey.
So it's gonna be more than 300.
How does a little kicker amp compare to? Okay, so. Funny you should ask, John. That's why that little kicker amp exists in the first place, is because that little power pack, the
little power pack,
the 445U universal power pack that they make was the idea behind behind Kicker making that amplifier.
Mm-hmm.
It's a direct competitor for it. It's just better. everything about it is better. Everything about it is better. There's nothing that. So the idea was if you're going to buy she's giving me, it's not Jeremy, it's Jeremy.
Yeah.
Jeez. So the idea behind it was, okay, so for the customer that wants that 455U, how do we take that and give them a better experience? Boom. Kicker came out with the key. The question that I got that I found was amusing is the 12 gauge power wire going to it. That's what, because it was made as a direct competitor to the 455U, which has not even a 12 gauge power wire going to it. It's like a 16 gauge power wire going to it. You don't even really have to go to the battery if you didn't want to, but naturally we're going to because, yeah. Is it loud enough? Yes. As we said, everything we told you in that video, and trust me, we were punch drunk crazy by the time we were done filming that video because it was 12 o'clock at night. It was about 11:45 before we actually started tuning that. Maybe 11:30 p.m.
That was like,
Yeah, so we didn't leave here
really
that
late.
night till like 12:20. So trust me, by the time we got done with that, we were just so
like
happy.
12:30.
Yeah, and it was like just listening to that. I mean, because that was a long day, and it was like, oh my God, I cannot believe. Because you get something like that, and you're like, there's no way this is gonna work. There's no way. There's no way at all. It's gonna do what it's supposed to do, and it did. And it was like. The only advantage of the 4.5 value is that it is 2 ohm stable while the kicker is not. Well, there you go.
There you go.
There you go.
That's it.
But is it necessary though? I mean, most speakers are 4 ohm. But thank you, Jason, because that's why we love you, buddy, because you give us that stuff.
Did you answer this question? Kenwood ever going to release the wireless CarPlay system? I have the 9704, so I can wait.
You can wait.
You're gonna
wait.
Waiting.
You're going to be waiting a minute. So the reason why Kenwood doesn't have it, we've talked about it before, is that there's two things that are the most important things that Apple wants you to have on a radio in order for you to have wireless CarPlay. A GPS antenna, which they have, and a VSS wire, which is vehicle speed sense. That is a wire that gets, it hooks up to what's called the transmission speed pulse. And that's basically a pulse in the car that every time there's a full rotation of the transmission, it controls your speedometer and tells the car how fast it's going. Well, it's on the data bus wire of the car, and obviously because it's what tells you, and they want that so that as you're rolling through a deep dark tunnel going 50 miles an hour and you slow down or speed up or whatever, it can track you. Now, most tunnels in the cities have cellular built into them, so I don't know how important this is, but Apple wants that built into the radio. This is a feature we haven't needed in a GPS system since probably the late 90s. Pioneer kept it, I meant to say Alpine, because that was the navigation system that was the most pain in the ass to hook it up on. But Pioneer has kept it in their radios this whole time. They use what's called a hybrid mode if you don't hook it up, which is what basically everyone else uses. Garmin, Magellan, TomTom, they all work in what's called a hybrid mode, where they just guess. Between towers, they can figure out how fast you're going. Computers are fast enough now. But for some reason, Apple wants this in there. Well, because Kenwood teamed up with Garmin, Garmin doesn't need it, Kenwood doesn't have it. They used to have it, they don't anymore. So now they're having to go back and rebuild their radios from the ground up to add in this input for VSS. So it's a big thing. Big thing.
It's a big
thing, because you're talking about adding in a feature that hasn't existed in your technology bank for 15 to 18 years.
Oops.
So, yeah. Are they working on it? Desperately bad. Desperately bad.
No, definitely.
Yeah, and the funny part about this is, if you have a 4400, W4400, if you hook up the GPS antenna, or the VSS, or both, or either or any combination of them, there's no bypass. So you're not watching video or having a DVD player or HDMI. You're going to have a nice black screen of death.
Warning.
Going, sorry, bro, you can't. So you actually have to leave both of them disconnected so that you can do anything. The problem is if you're an Android user, that doesn't work because Android relies heavily on that external GPS antenna. So it's yay.
I mean, for Apple users, yeah.
Most phones aren't wireless CarPlay, Android Auto capable yet. They're not in a hurry. And I'll tell you what, I've had the 4400 in my car now for like 3 months, almost a month now. And, you know, I'm with everyone else. What's the hurry? We don't need it. We don't need it. I need it. I need wireless CarPlay. I drive 15 to 20 minutes a day, and I put my phone in my door. Don't keep it in my pocket or put it in the cup holder or center console.
You already have CarPlay right there.
And it's just, as soon as I get it, it pairs up and life is good. Now, I'm only, again, going for 20 minutes. I don't need to charge the battery if I'm only going for 20 minutes. And when we reset the unit to do the testing we were doing on it for VSS, I had to plug in, and I just didn't plug it in. I just went for like 3 days without CarPlay because I was like, I just don't want to dick with it. It's too much work to plug the damn thing in. That was my beef with the 9905. It's like, I love everything about it, but towards the last 2 weeks I had it in there, I never hooked up the CarPlay because I didn't want, I was like,
it's too hard.
Plug it in. Oh God, yeah, it was way too hard. It's too heavy. It's too heavy.
Never mind.
So,
all right. Good system for 2004 Sequoia bypassing the factory JBL. You can use the Kenwoods 7-inch, really nice mid-bass, man.
Yeah, or I mean, obviously you have the Focal perfect fit. Go in there, really nice Toyota perfect fit. Focal makes that, but both Metra and Best Kits make adapters for you to put in speakers in the doors. It just comes down to whatever your budget and what you're trying to do for sound. I mean,
Christian, yes, we're gonna be here Wednesday and tomorrow, so you can come.
Well, exactly, Jason. And you're the reason why there is no hurry because you drive over an hour and a half a day. Got to plug it in.
I'm just wondering because like Jason, he's a Kenwood fan, like you know, and you know, not having wireless CarPlay is like
Yeah, but you've seen his drive to work.
No, I know.
I mean, and if I drove that far to work, other than wanting a new job because I don't want to drive that far to work, I would plug my phone in too.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
And it's funny, you can always tell the days were slow here because your phone is dead when you get home. I always laugh because I go, oh, we didn't do much today because I was on my phone all day doing stuff, you know. Can KTV4 work with the factory audio? Ask guys because I may give my Ultimo to my son. He's not getting the Halo. Just buy another Halo.
The
455U is universal, so it is high level or low level input, so we can hook it up to a factory radio. We just need to build a T harness for it. So yeah, it's no problem. Both of them are like that, and that was the whole thing in the video where I said I'll put links to the T harnesses, and apparently that was, and I did. It was too much.
All right, so do you think paying $2 and $3
$2 to $3
per watt for SQM make a big enough
difference sound
to justify the cost?
Many claim the sound quality is much better than the cheaper amp, or is the amp that does rated power and has the feature that is required is sufficient. Alright, so as we all know at this point in our lives and in this part of the world, we know that you get what you pay for. Straight up, and amplifiers are no different. Are there good amplifiers that are reasonably priced? Yes, there are. Kenwood Excellent Amps are a prime example of that. They're reasonably priced amplifiers, and they sound great. Now, when you're looking at... Gabby says hi.
Hi, Gabby.
Now, when you look at something like, let's say, a Focal amplifier or a Moscone amplifier...
She get a sticker, too.
And a Gladen amplifier or an Audison amplifier or even an ARC. These are all amplifiers that are going to be that $2 to $3 to $5 to $10 for that. It just depends what you're trying to do. At the end, it always depends on what you're trying to do, what your end result is. You know, if you're looking for the ultimate in sound quality system, you know, you're going to spend $750 to $1,200 on a set of components to put in your car. Well, you're going to want to power them with something that costs equally as much. You're not going to throw a $300 to $400 amplifier on them. So, you know, when you look at like a Voce 5.1,
I want one.
Okay, yeah, it's like a $1,200 to $1,500 amplifier. It's not. Yeah, it's what it. Yeah, so $2 to $3. The PDX V9 is not in the same league as these amplifiers. That's a $500 $500 to
Yeah.
$600 amplifier. You're talking
Yeah.
about $1,000 to $1,200.
I mean, the PDX
That's a
V9
great amp.
is a great amp, but
And even still, in there again, for if you're looking at the, if you're looking, there's several layers of high end, and this is where a lot of people, it's like, oh, I have high end. Yes, you do have high end. The
Yeah.
PDX V9 is consumer high end.
Mhm.
Okay, but then you have the wine and cheese crazy high end, which is that 3% of the car audio industry.
Yeah,
You know, or maybe
that's
20%,
fine,
you know, and it's
that's
like,
fine.
that was a conversation we were having with Chris about their DSP. Is that,
Hey,
Um,
my phone shut off.
that, you know, do they want to get 20% in the industry, or do they want to get 80% in the industry? And the DSP was designed to get 80% in the industry, and that 20% can buy something else that has a more robust DSP built into it. So, you know, that's why some features get left out of things, because it's like price versus performance versus who's going to use it. Whoa, volume's up all the way. Shit,
Okay.
I just realized mine is not the U, it is the A. Yes. That's alright, we can always swap it out for the U. It's not the end of the world. Or you can just use it in your next car. It's alright. So yeah, the V5.1 retails for $1,700. So they're $1,500 is probably what you want to pay for it.
Man, I have a question about the Dodge Ram. That he has punch 300.4, and I can't get it anymore. But if you want to type it again, I can read
Was
it.
that big one?
No. He has
No, the big question that popped
Yeah,
up
that
on
was a
it.
big question.
Yeah.
Okay, so Michael Freeman say, hello guys, Mike again from Louisiana. Would like to know if you guys can tune these speakers for me using the DSR1. The specs suggest the Scan Speak signature tweeter and the woofer come to 644. 644 and 80 and
So
80.
2.2, 12 dB per octave, second order. You can experiment going lower and stepping the crossover slopes, and maybe prefer to do that. The tweeter can handle pretty low crossover points, which is advantageous.
No, not yet, John.
I'd like to know if you guys can tune these speakers.
Saludos, Steve from Texas.
So yeah, I mean I think so.
Yeah.
I mean,
What do you
I think you can do those frequencies with the DSR1.
Okay. Didn't say
Um,
yes.
I'm pretty sure you can do the. So all right, so if you want to go active and you want to know if the crossover in the DSR1 will give you those specs,
What's up, David?
just download the DSR1 software to the device you're planning on using on, and just go into the crossover section. You don't actually have the DSR. You don't have to have the DSR1 plugged in or active in order to play with the settings. We actually strongly recommend you get the software you plan on using and see if you like it. You know, because they're all different, and they're all different. All of them are different. And
When
some
did the
are
Rockford
good, bad.
Fosgate go to Class D?
When did they go to Class D? Years ago. Long time ago. They've been... Rockford Fosgate likes to be special. Like, they don't just use Class D. They make up all their own letters to go with their amplifiers. So, but they've been Class D for a long time. They don't just use Class D, though. They, like, the 2500 CP that you were talking about earlier, that's called a constant power. That means that it doesn't matter what ohm load you have it hooked up to, it's always going to put out 2500 watts. So they do all kinds of crazy things. Question was basically looking for a better sounding mid-bass component for my RAM. Currently is
Yes, that was
Rockford
Kevin.
Power 6.5 isn't cutting it. So we want a really strong mid-bass. Power series 6.5, so I'm guessing that's probably the T1. I can totally understand that.
He has a power series
Yeah,
and
yes.
a 300.4 prime.
Where's the
I-
crossover? But okay, so in a RAM we like to run. It's a 6x9, so we typically put 6x9s in it. Even though Crutchfield always tells you can't put 6x9s on
Yeah,
it.
but he has 6.5
Yeah.
components.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
5.25
but
in the
you want
rear.
more mid-bass.
Yeah.
So obviously it's going to come down to budget. Budget. Putting a 6x9 in there, something like the R-type, I'm sorry, like the X-type 6x9 components is going to get you more mid-bass. Putting the XR Kenwood 7-inch in there is going to get you more mid-bass. Changing out to a bigger amplifier, getting away from the prime and going up into, let's say, a punch amplifier or bigger amplifier is going to get you more mid-bass. A lot of the problems might be that amplifier is too small to run those speakers. It just doesn't have the drive. So that might also be part of the problem, because we do a lot of those. The other thing too is that if the door doesn't have sound dampening,
Yeah, like Jeremy said,
Jeremy, dampen the door, roadkill it, put some fast rings in there, especially with mid-bass monsters. Yeah, totally. But if you just have a 6.5 in the door where the 6x9 grill is, and you don't have any way to force all that sound through it, you're going to get bleed over and roll behind the door, and that's where a lot of your mid-bass is going to go. So before you go and change out your components and get new stuff, you may want to deaden the door, get some fast rings, and then see where you're at that point.
All right, so I have a good deal for you. Do you want it?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Wow.
What's a good deal?
Do you want the deal? Steve say, have you ever worked on tuning the Rockford Fosgate 360? If you so, would you like to get mine installed on my charger?
No, I've honestly never worked with the Rockford 360.
Okay. No, don't ask me.
Yeah, I've never worked with the Rockford 360. I played with the software for a little bit. Like I always tell you guys to do, when we were trying to pick our DSPs that we wanted to carry, I downloaded all the software for the ones, and I just played with it, and then I was like, I don't like this software, and it looks like a real pain in the butt, so we moved on to something else.
DSR1.
Why is the DSR1 so much cheaper than the 360? Does the 360 have more features than the DSR1? Yes, the 360 has way more features than the DSR1. However, the DSR1 is built on a much smaller platform. It doesn't do as much stuff like inputs, outputs, summing. It's just the EQ portion of it. So they don't need all that. Plus the other thing too is you have to keep in mind the 360 is old technology. The DSR1 is built on a much newer, fun. See, Jason sells the 360. They suck. So that's his words, not mine. I'm reading the screen. So it's just newer tech. Newer tech is smaller tech, just like everything gets smaller every year. The DSR1 is 5 years newer than the 360, if not more so. They haven't changed the 360 in years. So you're going to get smaller. You're going to get cheaper. But it's mainly comes down to it just doesn't have all the inputs, outputs, and the summing capability.
All right, Craig. Does the Kenwood 7-inch fit in a 2009 PT Cruiser front door without major mods?
Yeah. Yeah, because it's a Chrysler, and the adapter for it comes with the universal bracket that you guys have seen us use on the and if you haven't seen that, we do review. We did an unboxing of those in the Kenwood playlist. The universal bracket that it comes with also has Chrysler in the bracket, so it'll
David
screw
from
right
Atlanta. In. Yeah. Best DSP for 2007-2014 Escalade. Depends what you're trying to do. It's DSR1.
Done all that, but inside just have fast rings, back piece, inside door. Okay. Also make sure you have proper speaker mounting adapters. Make that, Well, if you've deadened it, then chances are good. But either way, more than likely, it might just be that amplifier. Yeah.
Okay,
good guys, time for practice.
Jason, what are the main advantages of adding dedicated mid-range to a two-way system, mid-bass, mid-range, and a tweeter? Would you say an increase the output will be one of those advantages?
Well, okay, so all right, so when you take a component, all right, so if you take a component set, meaning a tweeter and a mid-bass, the two are made to work together, and they're going to blend the two. You have overlapping points, so it kind of fills the hole. When you get a three-way set, typically the mid-bass is designed to play a little bit lower and not play up so high, because that little mid-range is going to come in there and take over for that.
Bye, Lance. What's up,
and then the tweeter is going to play down. So when you have just a set of a two-way set there, and you're going to add in that, it's not going to work as good as a true three-way set. It's not bad, and we've done it plenty of times where we've taken a component set, and the guy's like, man, I have this spot up in the dash, what can we put up there? Well, we can put the little 2.5-inch mid-range up there, and voila. It's like, it's going to help more if you need more high-frequency sound. Like, if you need more vocal, that mid-range is really going to help for that. If that's it, though. But you have to make sure that you have a good enough mid bass so that you can kind of let that play down a little lower. And the other thing too is it really needs to have, especially if you're adding it into a two-way set, it really needs to have some volume control capability. Just tying it in with them typically doesn't work all that well because you need to be able to control the volume on it and make it almost active so that you can bring it up or down to blend it in properly because you have to do some blending.
All right.
All right, guys, that takes us to an hour. We're going to call it a night because if we don't, this stuff is going to start freaking out on us.
Have a great
we get
night.
an hour out of it. Thank you, Jason. Have a great night. Yes, you can find t-shirts like this one right here at teespring.store/5star. DNF Tool Drawer is a place where we have all the cool tools that we use. Patreon is if you guys want to support the show. We use the money to buy cool things like the new camera that we're going to replace this with. Thank you guys so much as always. Have a wonderful night.
Bye, Christian.
We'll definitely see you guys Saturday on the Saturday show on YouTube. And I don't know, we're probably gonna play with the camera at some point.
We have to. So yeah.
If we pop on, we're testing new equipment, and nothing's more fun than testing new equipment.
Just say hello.
So
see you guys later.
Have a great week. Be safe. Drive
Bye, Jeremy.
careful.
Thank you again for everything.
Bye.
Bye, David.